Against Wiggins. Down the lane to flip it up and out. Rebound, DRAYMOND.
NBA fans have been served with the wildest and craziest events in the history of NBA locker rooms than any other sport. New to this? Then you gotta listen to watch the video till the end. Hello there, welcome back to another crisp video. Before we dive into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you never miss on any of our ever sizzling video updates. Without any further ado, let's get started. NBA locker rooms are considered as the perfect breeding climb for sizzling gossips and events since history. Many heated and hilarious events have been brewing up behind the four walls of the locker rooms, which were perhaps meant for the productive and professional use by the players. From Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra's wildest and sensational love affair to Gilbert Arenas carrying a gun to the locker room, ugly and life-threatening fights and arguments, there is so much more happening inside the locker rooms. Here are some of our selected top stories which would definitely move you and give you the clear inside story of the environment inside the world-famous locker rooms of the NBA teams. 1. Draymond Green telling Kevin Durant that the Warriors are fine without him. During his final season with the Golden State Warriors, Kevin Durant revealed his discomfort due to the growing tension between him and one team member. The course of events turned and surmounted the boiling point when Durant and Draymond Green got into a huge fight on the court, when Draymond didn't pass the winning shot opportunity to Durant. This fight on the court extended to the locker room as always. Green blamed Durant and said curse words and declared that the Warriors didn't need Durant to win. These were the same words Warriors fans and Durant's critics said when he accomplished something huge. This partiality had started demotivating him and catalyzed his decision of leaving the Golden State Warriors. 2. Gilbert Arenas and his four guns. Before the smartphone era, the players preferred gambling as their favorite pastime, which was often played on the plane between travels. During one fine round of bourrée between Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton, the Washington Wizards teammates, Crittenton lost to Arenas and demanded a rematch, but the game was over as the plane was about to land. Crittenton couldn't digest his defeat and spat ugly words and curses against Arenas. Things cooled down as they landed off, but only for a while. The next day, Arenas brought four loaded guns to the locker room with the intention of mocking Crittenton and asking him to choose a gun to kill Arenas. But who knew, Crittenton already came prepared, with a gun of his own. And soon the NBA locker room turned into a war ground. All the Wizards left the locker room immediately, and the word of face-off between two players spread like wildfire, resulting in the suspension of both of them for their stupidest actions from the entire season. 3. Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra's super wild love chemistry. It is the most sought-after fantasy of most people to hang and fool around with their partners in their workplace. Obviously, people aren't lucky enough, but our NBA daredevils are an exception. Due to the unavailability of CCTVs in the 80s, the vagabond Dennis Rodman and his lady love Carmen Electra had many hot and adventurous moments of fun in the locker rooms. Had these incidents been reported or recorded, it would have been a career-ending move for Rodman, as it's highly unethical. 4. AMAR'E STOUDEMIRE breaking hand-punching fire extinguisher. AMAR'E's New York career started with a blast. He scored more than 30 in 9 straight games in 2010. But things began to turn upside down when the New York Knicks onboarded Carmelo Anthony, hoping that these two superstars would hold them up against the Miami Heat. But things didn't go well with the duo, and they had an ugly defeat. Miami Heat won by 33 points. AMAR'E was fuming with anger, and in the heat of frustration, he punched the glass case holding the fire extinguisher. His hand had a horrific injury and was wrapped with bandages for the rest of the season. His hand injury healed, but his career sunk deeper to never recover from the injury again. 5. J.R. Smith, Coach Damon Jones, and a flying bowl of soup. Smith is renowned for his mischiefs, short temper, and ugly fights he gets into with his opponents. He had become the figure of fun for the world for his controversial endeavors. From getting fined for untying the shoelaces of the opponents at the free hit line, to leaving the live game to break the neck of an opponent, filling people's cars with popcorn, and even forgetting the point count and getting into an argument for the same. He has been involved in many stupidest and shittiest actions. But the most precarious thing he did, while being in the Cavaliers, was throwing a bowl of lukewarm soup on the face of assistant coach Damon Jones. Luckily, the coach didn't get severe burns, but Smith's career was definitely burnt to ashes. He was suspended for an entire game for his reckless behavior. 6. HUSTONS trying to trespass into the Clippers locker room. Fighting over the court and extending the fight to the locker rooms is a common and most witnessed scenario for the NBA teams and fans. One fight between Blake Griffin and Chris Paul led to the weirdest fights of all times. Paul had recently broken the deal with the Clippers and had joined hands with the Houstons. But there was a lot of friction going on between Paul and the Clippers, especially Blake Griffin and Austin Rivers. The fight broke during the first face-off between Clippers and Houstons, and for reasons extremely mysterious and unknown. To have a serious fight, Paul led two Houstons, James Harden and Trevor Ariza, into the Clippers' locker room through a secret tunnel. The Houstons were prevented from entering the locker room, and however, the police were called. The story went all viral, maligning the names of Houstons and NBA, and the things grew more ugly between the two teams. 7. CARTELL SPREWELL'S $24 million suspension. Sprewell is quite famous for several things, but the rejection of a 3-year $21 million contract with the statement that he has got a family to feed, after which he bid an adieu to the NBA forever, has been stuck with many fans. But the most famous controversy of Sprewell is choking the Warriors coach PJ Carlesimo in 1997. It happened when PJ was bugging more of advising Sprewell to focus on his passes to other teammates and practice harder. Sprewell wasn't in a great mood and got frustrated with the constant bugging. He grabbed the coach by the neck and choked him for a good 7 to 8 seconds. The teammates and to separate them and save PJ from dying. The matter cooled down for a while, and Sprewell tried his chance again while on the way to the locker room. This time he punched the coach so hard that the Warriors voided his $24 million contract and suspended him for a full 1 year. 8. Kobe Bryant and Dwight Howard's moments of inseparable fight. Remember the comedic picture Kobe Bryant and Dwight Howard put on their social media? Well, it wasn't as funny as it seemed. The most looked-forward season of the NBA was because Bryant and Howard were about to team up on the Los Angeles Lakers, but it didn't end all well. It was a massive disaster for the Lakers. Bryant clearly didn't like the joking and mocking behavior of Howard and had great problems with his demeanor. On confrontation with Bryant, after the huge loss in the locker room on the New Year's night of 2013, things started gearing up. Both of them started punching and hitting each other so hard that the teammates had to intervene. Both were very difficult to separate, but the team's efforts weren't in vain. After the news got leaked, Bryant and Howard posted a funny picture of them posing opposite each other and made fans and others believe that things were well between them. But the truth was different. Things were never like before and the friction continued. 9. Kevin Garnett calling names. Kevin Garnett is known as the most violent and nasty-mouthed player in NBA history. He called Charlie Villanueva a cancer patient despite knowing of his fight with cancer. He wished Tim Duncan a very happy Mother's Day even when his mother had passed away. He played mind tricks and forced the opponents to focus on his words rather than their game. So how did you like today's video? Did these fuming hot stories intrigue you? Make sure to like the video if they did. Let us know your opinions in the comments below and stay tuned for more inside stories. Stay tuned and we will be back with another interesting video for you soon. Thank you.